Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Facebook. Good to see you live again. How are you all today? I just give it a few moments for people to find me live. And if that's the first time that you see me live or you see this video in a replay, my name is Natalia. I am an inner mastery and consciousness mentor. And if you find this video live, please say hi, say who you are. I would love to meet you and to know where you are from. And if you see this video in a replay, please hashtag replay and let me know you watched it. I would love to hear your comments, questions, or anything that comes up for you during these videos. Just to tell you that these videos are live transmissions, and the best is that you simply listen to them and be open and receptive. So today the subject that I will talk to you about is expansion of consciousness and going into not knowing, because essentially I know what many people are facing, those who are called into the greater expansion of consciousness, and that was the same for me as well when I was going through the transitioning process myself, and my an expansion or deepening in consciousness, and that is coming into the place of not knowing anything. And I felt to talk to you today about that because I know that's going to be relevant for many people here, especially those who are a bit more advanced or serious about their inner development, or have gone deeper into self-discovery process, into spiritual process or inner development process. Because ultimately the expansion of consciousness means that you are exiting your mind and you're exiting your borrowed knowledge. Now your mind works with the memory. So you see a lot of people that they are considered to be intelligent or very knowledgeable these days. They simply read a lot of information, process a lot of information, and retain this information. So they are kind of mini encyclopedia. And we consider these people to be intelligent. But that is not exactly the case when you expand in consciousness. When you expand in consciousness, you come to the place of discovering the depths of yourself and living in the deeper reality of yourself. And that simply means that you come to the place of now. So, in the place of now, there can't be any past knowledge. Well, let's take a simple example together with me right now. Like right now, when you are here with me, what is the value of any of your borrowed knowledge? You see, you need to go into your memory to get that some file that you need and bring it here, so for that to be relevant even, so it loses what by the moment you've done that, you lost the point. You already lost the state of now, because to retrieve something from your past memory, it means that you have to go and think about the information that you need, and and then process it and then say it. So I'm not disregarding the knowledge, the technical knowledge that you need for daily living life. I mean, if you need to remember how to fix your car or any machinery or your computer or anything like that, and you remember, yeah, I read something about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about life, the process of life. I'm talking about the existential life here. And that does not require you to have any past knowledge. Because, for example, you've read a lot of scriptures, you've read a lot of holy books, you've read a lot of esoteric information. So you have a lot of that information within you, but all of that is borrowed. Yeah, it's something you've heard, something you've read about, but that's not your own knowledge. It's still the mind, it's still the past, the intellect part. So the shift in consciousness means that you start going beyond the borrowed knowledge. Well, I hope I'm making myself clear here. And if it's not clear, please write me a message and I will find a way to explain it in a different way so it becomes clearer for you. Let's suppose you learn something about the human body. Or about chakras. That's not your knowledge. You've heard that is something borrowed. You don't know really if the chakras are here, how many they are. It doesn't come from your experience, from your own knowledge. And that's a situation which happens in this world today. So a lot of people are recycling the borrowed knowledge, but in reality they don't know anything, because none of that comes from the depths of their inner wisdom. And expansion of consciousness means that you gradually start dropping all the borrowed knowledge. Yeah, because again, as I said, in the dimension beyond time, which is simply now, there is no need for the borrowed knowledge, because borrowed knowledge are needed in the dimension of time, because your mind has to reflect on the information and think about it, and reflect again and think about it. Consciousness is too fast for that. Consciousness does not need to reflect onto something. Perception of consciousness is direct. So it's instantaneous, which is why the true knowledge only happens if it is revealed to you, if it's revealed instantaneously in the moment of insight within you. And then that becomes your own knowledge, the wisdom that you gather. And this is the most precious thing, because that is something that is within you, that is your living experience, not something in the past but this is something that is your living experience now. And of course, whatever is revealed to you, you cannot retain that anyway, because consciousness is so quick. There is another moment, there is another moment, and another moment, and another moment, and the next moment, and then maybe the insight will change or deepen. And that's what scares a lot of people, because essentially expansion of consciousness, going beyond the mind, going beyond the known, or going into the unknown realm. Now, you cannot rely on any past information for that. And that means that you have to be super alert, super conscious, or you are consciousness now, and every moment now, every moment. Now let's take another example. You see, let's say next time you go out of your house and then you see the tree, the tree that you see every day. Most of the times, what do you say? I know this tree, I've seen it before, I have the knowledge of that tree. But that's not the truth. Because the tree, you say, oh yes, this is the pine tree, or this is an oak, or this is something else. But that is your past memory. The tree is new every day. And the same is with people. Let's say you know someone from 10 years ago, and you see them, oh yeah, I know who that is. This is this person and that person, and they do this and that. That may not be relevant at all for the person that you are seeing in front of you, because the person is new every day. Your cells are new every 72 hours. So, seeing with clear vision is seeing everything as new, is seeing everything beyond the past knowledge, beyond the past borrowed knowledge. And that is how you keep your consciousness alive and keep your consciousness growing and growing to that. And that requires courage, and that's why when I work with my clients, we do that gradually. We are not, hi Claire, hello beautiful, wonderful, wonderful that you are joining. So we are not relying on the past knowledge. We are gradually dropping the past knowledge, past borrowed knowledge, and I encourage them, as I encourage you, to discover everything in your own experience, to discover everything in a state where you know nothing. Because truly, a truly intelligent person, a person who has reached a certain state of consciousness, they will just say, well, I really don't know anything. And this is the conclusion that I came to. And I have a knowledge, so much knowledge in me, but in reality, I know nothing. And that is the state. I don't retain anything. But what happens that in the moment where I need something, it's coming up and it is revealed for me. Yeah. So even working with my clients, if I look at someone, I receive and I know what I need to know about them to help them and guide them into further expansion. I don't say, well, okay, I see, this is something that I learned in this course and that course, and it looks like you are having these issues that I learned in the course. So according to my course, let's see, I have to do this and this for you. That's not how it works. And that's the reason why a lot of um, a lot of therapies or a lot of any kind of inner work practices, they have very limited result because, see, what's happening, for example, the person that is, let's say, the therapist, let's take a therapist as a general term, I'm not taking them as anything specific, let's take a therapist. So a therapist receives the client and the client has an issue, so the therapist processes the issue, connects it to the issues that they learned, yeah, the book, yeah, I think I've seen it something else, and then they process it also, they get the reflection within themselves as well, and then they remember, oh yes, I actually had this issue, so you might have this because this is the book that I had and this is something that I had as well, and that is the treatment that I think you should do, yeah. And that may not be the case at all because every new situation is new and the person is new as well. Of course, there are similar tendencies. I'm not disregarding completely, that is not relevant. But I'm saying that in this case, the therapist is thinking with, with his mind or her mind, and of course when you think, you are cut off from consciousness. When you think, you are in your mind, and your mind is all past memory, your thoughts are all driven by past memory. So when you are in that state, you cannot receive the person directly, you cannot perceive and know the person directly. Which is why what I teach those who are therapists, those who are healers, those who are coaches, those who work in any capacity with others, with helping others, I teach them to know the person directly and immediately. And how do you do that? You can do that. Oops. You can do that only when you are not thinking, when you are consciousness as you are. And when and what is the state of consciousness that you are? When you are beyond time. And what does it mean to be beyond time? It means to be now. So it all comes back to the state of now. So essentially, expansion of consciousness is being now. Yeah, simply being now. And when you are now, you cannot know anything. And I repeat again, you cannot know anything as your own knowledge, because to know something as your own knowledge, it means that you need to go into your past and think and get it out of your memory and process it and apply it to the situation. That means that you lost now completely. That means you've gone into time dimension where you think. And you cannot see clearly the person in front of you. So to see clearly the person in front of you, you simply stay present without thoughts. And then when you stay and relate to the person in this state, by being now, by being emptied from your thoughts, then communication happens on a totally different level. And that means that you receive information simply by looking at someone. You receive information that you need to receive. And I'm not talking here about the psychic things. These are not psychics. These are the conscious perception that every human being has, the perception in the higher states of consciousness, which everyone can have access to and can embody and live as their living reality. And this is something that I teach those who are called into a great expansion of consciousness, to have that state of not knowing as your daily living reality, because the state of not knowing is the most potent state of wisdom, because your mind can know just a tiny bit, the little tiny bit. It's just absolutely a, I don't know how, which which word even to choose for that, but the information, the borrowed knowledge is your mind is so insignificant. It can only help you to deal, as I said, with the practical things, how to fix this, how to do that, how to do this. When it comes to deeper matters, when it comes to the matters of life, when it comes to the deeper insights, when it comes to the visionary, revolutionary discoveries, you cannot rely on that. You need to rely on something more powerful, something deeper. And that is simply to rely on whatever is within you. And whatever you are deep within you is the consciousness that you are. Okay, I can call it supreme consciousness or the divine mind, all mean the same thing. And initially, when the transition is happening from the dimension of mind or time into the dimension beyond time, the mind can get really terrified, because for the mind, going beyond the known is equivalent to death. It's very scary. And we cannot force it to happen. I mean, we can force it to happen, but if you force it to happen, it's not the best thing to do. And I do not advise you to do anything that will forcefully get you into the higher conscious states of consciousness, because the best way is to grow into consciousness. So the mind, and remove the boundaries of your mind gradually, because that is the way how you incorporate and integrate this state as your daily living reality. Because to function is not knowing. You cannot just jump from one day functioning in your mind and in your known experience into functioning in the state of consciousness, in the state of now, which is when you know absolutely nothing. It's gonna be very I would say it's not something you can do in one day. It's something that you have to grow into and expand and incorporate and integrate. And that is the work that I do. That is the work that I support my clients with. And if you are a leader, conscious, visionary, heart-centered leader who is called into the greater expansion of consciousness, who is called into being an embodiment of your highest destiny, and who wants to live in this state as your daily living reality, and not only live but embody it and bring it into the world, so you could help lead and guide other people and serve the greater expansion of consciousness. So send me a message. I would love to meet you. There will be also opportunities for group work. I'm gonna do special sessions of meditations. So please follow the announcements. I'm going to post also the links underneath this video so you can join. And those group practices, this will be the practices, are designed actually to do that, to still your mind, so you can familiarize yourself into the state of not knowing, so you could get accustomed to that, so you could grow into that state of not knowing. So this what the practices are for. So if you're drawn to join them, by all means please do join, and I would love to see you there. Okay, loves, thank you so much for being with me. If you find this video on a replay on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to catch me live and be with me live while I do these live transmissions, you can follow me on Facebook on my personal profile. And if you find this video on my YouTube channel, please subscribe. And whatever you find this video, please feel free to share it and make it available for more people. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you. Those who are online, do you have any questions? No? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.